back again for another head shave. Shave number, I think it's shave number 12. I'm doing a bit of a head-to-head shave today. I watched an Italian, I think he's an Italian guy, and he made a comment on one of my videos about you know, I should try the Fusion5 Proglide, and one thing led to another, and I've now got the Fusion5 Proglide and I've got the Mach3. I'm not intending to use this for any length of time. I may give it away with some new blades or something like that. Well, I don't know. We'll see. If it's massively better than the Mach3 on my head, I don't know. We'll see. That's the point of this shave. So it's going against the Mach3. This blade's been used, I think it's probably on its third use. This blade is brand new. So not exactly an even shave, but you know, I don't want to stick a new blade on my Mach3 at the moment because I don't intend buying any more blades for it. Unless my son decides he wants it, but he mentioned yesterday that he's actually he wants me to buy him his first DE, or he wanted to buy his own, but I said no, I'll buy it. So I'm actually, I don't know whether I'm going to buy the DE. I might give him my Gillette Gillette King C to start him off with, and then maybe get him a razor later on or something that's a bit better than that. But yeah, so that's the razors, and next week it's going to be a bit of a series. Next week I'll probably put either the Mach or the Fusion up against the leaf, so one half of the head with the leaf, one half with the Mach or the Gillette, and then the following week I'll finish off the trilogy, if you like, and it'll be Mach or Fusion versus leaf, whichever one I haven't done. So that's the plan. So I'm using the Betelgeuse or Bear Yaqi 28mm knot. This is my favourite head shave brush. To be honest, it's pretty much the only brush I use on my head now. It mainly because of the diameter and the coverage. That's the main reason. Software, I'm not using a shaving bowl today. I'm going to shave from the brush, or I'm going to lather from the brush on the face. Proraso Sensitive pre-shave, slightly mentholated. I'm using a soap that I think is supposed to be a citrus soap, but it's in a foreign language. But it does say Gentleman's Old-Fashioned Whipped Shaving Soap, the original. And it says organic on it as well. Grevinan's Rum. But then it's all in a different language. I don't know whether you're going to be able to see that. But if you can see, it's in a different language, and on the back, if somebody understands what that says, as in the description, but I do see citrus on there, so I have used it once before, and indeed, to me, it reminds me of a lemon meringue pie, but there's flowers in the background, and it's got a very interesting citrusy scent. Very nice scent strength on it in the container. I'd say probably about a 3. I can't remember when I first used this. It's another one of these soaps from the Personal Barber Club, or the Personal Barber subscription service. So yeah, we'll give it a go on the head. Following that, I'm going to be using my Thayers Lemon Witch Hazel. So, and then I'm using my Alvarez Gomez Agua de Colonia Concentrada Eau de Cologne. So that's, and basically the description, it says a very fresh and special cologne based on the scents of Mediterranean flowers, plants and fruits. Well, for me, I get lemon zest and I get the pith of a lemon, and I'm not taking the pith. Sorry, that's a awful joke. Yeah, so that's what I'm using as a aftershave. Nivea Men Sensitive Post-Shave Balm. So that's the software. So what I'm going to do now is get myself ready, and I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. I'm going to wet the head down a bit more. I've got the pre-shave on. This soap is more of a soap than a cream. It's quite hard. Well, it's not as hard as a normal soap, like a triple mil soap. You can actually push your finger into it, but you will need some pressure to push your finger into it. So I've actually lathered it up in the bowl. I was going to do it on the brush, but yeah, I decided to change that plan, and so I've lathered it in the bowl. So there you go. So with that little bit of crope or soap, and the scent is probably the same as from the puck. It's about a scent strength of about a 3, maybe a little bit stronger, approaching 4. Anyway, so let's go to the head. Get this on. This looks a bit thin, but I don't think it is. I mean, there's loads of lather here. I think that's just the way this comes out. I've gone back to the usual method in terms of, this is too thin. It seems too thin anyway. But I'm going to go ahead with this. This is not the memory I have of this soap, so I don't know what I've done wrong. I've used the method, the new method of taking all the soap out. The water. But either way, it doesn't matter. Let's go for it. So straight down the middle. On my right side, I'm going to go with the Mach3, and on my left, I'm going to go with the Gillette Fusion. So here goes, going with the grain. Nice and slick. So I'm applying the kind of pressure I'd apply with any cart on the blade. So on my head. Take that off. And I will do on both sides. So I hope everybody's had a good week. Things are really opening up, beginning to open up in this country now. As of the 4th of July, which I know is a big day in the States, but here it's the day that we basically relax in a big way a lot of the restrictions that we've been under since this virus came out. Right, let's go on this side. Now I'm intrigued with this. Let's see how this feels. Oh, completely different. I can't feel the blades on my head at all. I can hear it shaving. Feels very strange. Now, initial thoughts. Let's carry on. Let's before I. This is interesting. So again, I'm applying pressure, which I certainly wouldn't apply this amount of pressure with the leaf, because I think you'd probably cut yourself. Right. Very, very interesting. this is really quite a different feel to the Mach3. I'll be intrigued to see what it's like. I'm going to save my thoughts when I go against the grain, because that's when I'll really feel it. But I can tell you right now, there's a big difference in the feel of the shave between the two razors. So let's go for the second pass. The soap, I'm not sure what's happened. I have used it before and it worked fine, so I'm not sure what I've done. It looks like there's no... I'm going to add a bit more to the bottom of the bowl and see if that makes a difference, but I don't think it will. I haven't added any water to this at all, so I don't know. That's better. Maybe I just didn't add enough soap, but yeah, that seems to have worked a bit better. Now I'm actually getting, now whether this is from the pre-shave, but I'm getting a slight cooling effect with the soap, and I've noticed it more on the second pass. So this is the effectively I mean, my next pass will be a pickup pass, so I only do 2 passes, full passes on the head. But wherever I apply this soap, there's a slight cooling effect, as if there's menthol in it. So, right, so now I'm going against the grain. Nearly went over. The one thing I will say straight away is the Mach3 is easier to get in around the ears. It's a smaller head. And you can feel the blades, and you can feel the blades cutting. You can hear them cutting. So I'll be interested to see what the razor's like on the next pass. So this one. I'm just going to go up against like this. Yeah, that's right. I cannot feel the blades at all. You can hear them cutting. But you can't feel them, which is a bit disconcerting. I mean, some people would call this smooth, but I cannot feel the blades. Maybe it's because it's a new razor. You know, the new head on it, but I cannot feel the blades at all. I mean, you can hardly feel the blades on the Mach3, don't get me wrong, but there's more sensory feedback with the Mach3 on my head. Some people will find that an advantage, others will find it a disadvantage. Me personally, I prefer the Mach3, the blade feel of the Mach3. I think the end result, I suspect, will be an equal BBS shave. But that was really different. I mean, it's definitely harder to get in here with the Gillette Fusion 5 than using the Mach on there. And the Mach is definitely easier than the Leaf. The Mach3 is easier than the Leaf to get in there as well. But to be honest, in there, if I have to touch up, I'll use a DE. So, right, let's go again. This is just the pickup pass. I wasn't expecting such a big difference. Me personally, I prefer the sensory feedback on the Mach3. This is really thin. I don't know what's happened to this. I mean, yes, I'm on the pickup pass, so there's not a lot of hair follicles or a lot of hair left for it to grip onto. Yeah, right, so let's do the pickup pass. Everywhere, look. Right, let's go with the Mach3. Yeah. It feels, I can feel the blade. It's not an uncomfortable feel, but it's nicer for me. It feels weird. The Gillette Fusion 5 feels strange. I don't know what's happened to this soap. I'm going to come back to this soap on my face shave and I'll show you that it is a good soap. I just don't know what's happened to it. I was initially, because I thought it was more of a more creamy than that. I was going to just use the brush to face lather. Not face lather, head, lather on my head. But that's maybe where I made the mistake, but I didn't really do anything different. Right. That is BBS, both sides. Winner of a contest is really down to the individual person using it. I'm going to clean up and I'll give you my thoughts. I'm back. Right, all cleaned up. Into the post shave. I've just got my brush, a little rinse out of my brush. Into the post shave now, and we'll discuss my thoughts on the two Gillette contestants. Let's go with the. I'll use the item. Bit of a sting at the back there. I must have caught something, I think. Yeah, so I really was very surprised at how different the shave was. And I think I've said that before, so forgive me if I keep repeating myself. But while this alum works on my head, I've used the Mach3. This Mach3 is years old. It's more than 7 years old. It's probably more like 10 plus years. I probably bought this Mach3 razor when the Mach3s first came out. That's how old this is. This one is brand new. The actual sensation of shaving with the Mach3, to me, is better than the Gillette Fusion 5. In terms of, I can feel where it is, I can feel that it's cutting, I can feel, you know, there's more sensation to it. BBS, absolutely BBS, not missed anything. This, I was disappointed. I thought it was going to be quite different in a better way than it was. This, I couldn't feel any feedback. I couldn't feel any blade. All I could feel was that leading edge and probably the leading and the edge at the back. I couldn't feel the blades on the head at all. Now some people might like that. You know, if they want something, I suppose you could call it smooth, but I wouldn't call it smooth. It just feels like you're pushing two rollers over your head, not doing anything. The only reason you know it's doing something is because you can hear it cutting. So yeah, this head, did it make a big difference? The fact that it sort of can do that? I don't think so. I've got an equally good shave with that as I have with that. I wouldn't say that's more efficient at all. It's down to personal choice, I guess. But the blades for that are ridiculously expensive. The blades for this are still expensive, but they're not as expensive as those. If it were my choice, I'd stick with the Mach3 any day of the week. And I know what the end result's going to be. Let's get this off. When I put the leaf, when I put both of these up against the leaf, the leaf's going to blow them away, both of them. I've got used to the leaf. Initially it was a bit weird because the leaf pivots from the bottom, whereas I was used to the Mach3 pivoting from the centre of the blades. But now I've got used to the leaf. I think it gives a better shave than either of those Gillettes. I think the blades are sharper. Your DE blades, I think they're sharper than the blades they use in these cartridge razors. And I just think you get a better feel. So let's go with the Thayers Lemon Witch Hazel. Really disappointed. I thought, there was going to be this light bulb moment, bing. But actually it was, that Gillette Fusion was a bit of a disappointment. I prefer the Mach3. The Mach3 is more manoeuvrable, gets into the smaller crevices around the ears better. I know the Gillette 5 Fusion has a blade on the top up there somewhere. I don't know whether I can try that. No, it doesn't really do anything for me. I'm more comfortable with the Mach3. I mean, that's the end of it, really. That's the end of the comparison. The Mach3 wins for me. The Fusion 5 may win for others. But me personally, having tried the Fusion 5 or Proglide, I hate to say this, it's marketing. You know, it's got the swivel ball, it's got the pivoting head. It's all marketing to get you to buy new products and pay more money on more expensive and hyped up priced cartridge razor heads. Whereas you can buy a leaf or you can use a DE razor. I'm still going to get around to that at some point. But you know, you put that will take out the Gillette Fusion 5 and the Mach 3 very easily, as far as I'm concerned, once you get used to it. Right, let's put on the aftershave and finish up this shave. Oh, a bit of a sting there. Very, very... Wow, a lot of alcohol in that. Note to self, don't stick your hands over your face and breathe in like that, because make your eyes water. This is a really nice, I like this aftershave. I think, you know, it's one that's going to grow on you. When I first tried it, I wasn't sure, but I really do like it. Nice, fresh. I'm getting more of the floral now, but to me, it's lemon zest and the pith of the lemon. And yeah, you can get some floral scents in the background, but not. It's citrus all the way for me. Very nice citrus. It's not a sweet citrus. Right, Nivea is going on, and that's the end of my shave. Very pleasant shave. Disappointing in the fact that I thought the Fusion was going to blow the Mach 3 away. But yeah, so that Fusion 5 probably won't be used again. I'd rather use the Mach 3 on the head, and from pretty much once I've done this, I'm going to be using the leaf pretty much all the time on my head. I've thought about using the one blade. Has anybody used the one blade on the head, and how did they feel that was? Or any other type of, I think there's one called the Focus, and it looks like an old-fashioned Schick or Bic razor, but it's got a pivoting head. I know Connaught Shaving's got them. They look a bit plasticky, but I'm not sure what they're made of. But they've got a pivoting head, so I've thought about trying to find an SE razor that has a pivoting head that you could do head shaves with, to see how that compares with the leaf. And eventually I'll do the DE on the head as well. I'll get there. I just haven't practiced, and I haven't got the confidence yet to do that. But I will do it, that's a promise. Right, that's me for today. I will see you tomorrow for the face shave. Looking forward to taking this off. I haven't decided what razor I'm going to use, or soap or anything. It might be the Holy Cow. I've got a tub of Holy Cow that I've been saving. It's either that or I'm going to go for an Arco shave. I don't know. We'll see. Tomorrow. See you tomorrow. It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from these two. The Gillette razors, Mach 3 and Fusion Proglide. Yeah. Just throw them over there. See you again tomorrow.